The broadcast is live. Oh my
There
gosh,
we
I'm
go.
so excited.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and welcome to the third live talk by the Oxford University Italian Society. Our student association tries to favor the exchange of ideas between students, professors, researchers, and influential Italian guests. Today, we have the honor to have digital entrepreneur and broadcaster, Mr. Marco Montemagno. Good afternoon, Mr. Montemagno.
Giuliano, you're so fantastic. I mean, I do 5 hours of interview a day, but I've never been able to do what you just did, professional and fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. Marco Montemagno started off his career as a tech journalist for Sky. Since then, he has been a successful digital entrepreneur, founder of Slasher, For Books, The Update, and many others. He also hosts regular talks with prominent Italian figures on social media, where he has over 2 million followers. Recently, he has also published 2 books.
Yeah.
This afternoon, after a brief speech on how to create a personal brand on social media, we will have 10 to 15 minutes of question by our committee, followed by questions from you, our audience. So please feel free to leave your questions below, and I will be very happy to read them out. Mr. Montemagno, the stage is yours. You may begin.
Right, fantastic. So first of all, thanks for Mr. Montemagno. That's my first time someone doesn't call me just Monty, but Mr. Montemagno, I like Mr. Montemagno. Well, I have nothing ready, to be honest, and I would love to go in Q&A as soon as possible, but maybe let me just leave one suggestion that I think in this moment could be helpful for not only young people or students, but in general for everyone thinking about the world of this new normal after COVID, post-COVID, and the work. So my starting point is this one. Let's take an example, like, I don't know, Airbnb. Airbnb is one of the biggest company in the world, and they have great founders, great founding team, a lot of talents, a lot of technology, a lot of money, successful company, successful business model, everything great. Check. Great company. And then this COVID thing happened. And one of the top companies in the world suddenly dropped 50% in their revenues for this year, and they lay off 25% of their employees. So it's crazy. It makes me think a lot, because if the best of the best is not safe, how can we? I'm a small startupper, small entrepreneur, and I think maybe there is a student that is taking his degree now, and he think how can he or she approach this work world. So how can we handle this? What could be the strategy in this very, very difficult scenario? And COVID is just the beginning. I mean, we'll have other pandemics, we'll have other crises. I mean, I'm 47 years old. I already lived, 3 or 4 of these things. COVID is probably like the most shocking and surprising, unfortunately. But there are problems, there are crises. The general work world has changed a lot. So my strategy starts from building a brand. So today, I think that a good countermeasure to handle this big chaos is, let's build a brand. And let's try to go deep, because a lot of people talk about, building a brand. They are the great marketing gurus in the universe. I'm Mr. No One. I'm just passionate about communication, and I have couple 2-3 million followers that follow my videos, and I don't know why, but I'm just passionate about this topic. So I give you my experience on this topic, and then you can evaluate by yourself. So building a brand means that you need to build your reputation. It can be your reputation as an archaeologist. I've interviewed an archaeologist, by the way, before starting this show. So you can just try to associate yourself, your reputation, to a topic that you like, that you're passionate. And if you go deeper than that and you think, okay, but maybe I'm a student, I'm not really expert in anything yet. I'm just studying. So it's important to know that you can build a brand in two ways, basically. You build a brand because you are the best, or you build a brand because you are different. So the best thing is obviously that you build a brand because you are the best and you're also different from anyone else. Michael Jordan. I'm watching the Last Dance television series in this moment about Michael Jordan. Very interesting. He was a fantastic player. He was very unique, a very unique character, very unique person, and he has built a fantastic brand. But he has built a brand because he was the best player, basketball player, full stop. That's it. He won 6 championships. That's it. So if you are Michael Jordan in your sector, you can easily build a brand out of it. And by the way, why I think building a brand is the number one strategy to countermeasure these times, because it's your best parachute. Whatever happens, if you have a brand, you can do something. You have a reputation, and companies will be looking for you. Clients will try to search for your help. So when a crisis arrives, everyone get hit. But if you have a strong brand, if you're really good, you have the best options to save yourself. It's like saying you are in open ocean, and you are a great swimmer. So fantastic. And you are there with people that never swam in their life. So building a brand is the same thing. So you build your reputation, or by being the best, or by being different. I'll give you an example. Here in UK, Jamie Oliver, the chef, Jamie Oliver. I remember when he started, he was not the best chef in the world, especially for me, Italian. I mean, seeing Jamie Oliver, 20 years ago, trying to position himself as a chef, British chef, really, but he was really good. He never pretended to be the best chef in the world. He tried to be the chef for young singles, and he tried to teach cooking in an easy way, an informal way, and a funny way. That's it. That was his distinctive uniqueness. So you build a brand like that. So once you know that, if I convince you with this little pitch that it's time to build your brand, no matter what, because it's a good parachute for your future career, future life, the question could be, all right, how do I build a brand today? You build a brand by basically publishing content. Where do you publish content? You publish content on social media. So social media on smartphones. We are focused there, stays with us for 24 hours at 1 meter distance, no more than 1 meter distance. Is the only object in the world like that. Not even our wife or our children stay so attached to us. So you publish content on social media. How? My personal feedback, to be very practical, and then we can go in Q&A, we can go deep in all of these topics. You start with one platform. Try to choose the platform that is the best for your skills. Maybe you're good with photography, maybe Pinterest could be good. Maybe you're good with long videos, then YouTube could be good. Maybe you're good with 15 seconds jumping videos. TikTok is perfect for you. Everyone fucking jumping there. I don't know why. Everyone jumps on TikTok for 15 seconds. So great. But pick one platform and try to be good there. How can you be good there? Well, you will try to do the best kind of content that you can. At the beginning, your content will be horrible. I still have videos that I've done 4 years ago, and they have 10 views. They are embarrassing. I'm, I don't know, with a velvet jacket in front of the chimney, try to talk about something. No one ever watched the video. Sometimes my older son find the video, send it over to me and say, look, 10 views, and it's very embarrassing, but you have to start somewhere. So you start publishing content, you'll get better with that. You try to be good. You study a topic, you try to find your angle. If you're not an expert, you don't have to pretend to be an expert. Well, maybe you are passionate about photography. Well, try to interview some photography expert, some photography teacher, some good photographers, and you start with connection. For instance, interviewing people is a great approach, is a great way to approach people, because everyone like to be interviewed somehow. So you publish content, choose one platform. How much content? As much as you can. This is the trick, I think. I personally, in this moment, I'm publishing 4-5 hours of videos a day, not a month, a day. So 4-5 hours every day I push content out there. Not because I'm crazy and I just want to do videos all the time, but because the competition is so high at the moment and the feed is only one. So if you compete on, Instagram is only one feed, YouTube is only one feed, and to be visible there is not easy. So you need a lot of content. So you pick one platform, you do your best, you find your format. It can be interviews, it can be you talking, it can be you with piece of paper and a pen and you write down things. It can be that you show images from websites and you comment and it's just an audio voiceover. I mean, you can do it in a million different ways. Do your homework first, go check similar videos in your sector, and then you start to produce content. And then once you start to be good in one platform, you scale as fast as you can. You scale, it means you try to be visible on as many platforms that are relevant in that moment, and you try to be visible there. At the moment, personally, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, podcast, Instagram. So this is my presence. Again, not because I'm a fanatic about being everywhere, but because you cannot be in the hands of just one platform. I got 1 million followers on Facebook, for instance, and then the organic reach, so the number of people that I could naturally reach when I was publishing a content started to drop. So I had to find different platforms, and sometimes a platform can suspend your account for no reason. Maybe Zuckerberg tomorrow say that bald people are not allowed on the platform anymore. And so what do? So you need, again, a parachute on social media platforms. And then if you can do that and you give time and you have a long-term view, well, maybe, in few years, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, 5 years, everyone different. It depends also on your talent. Well, you can create a community. And once you have a community, it's much easier, because no matter what happen, you can say to your community, look, I have this new product, I have this new service, I have a course, I have an event, I can give you this service. You can offer something to your community and you build a product with your community, and they will tell you what they want, and you become part of something that is much bigger than you. So social media to build a personal brand, I believe today is a great way to go. And the cost of the barrier to the entry barrier is very low. You start with your phone and you start to produce content and see how it goes. The worst thing that happens is that nothing happened, but at least you learn a skill that is producing content, which is anyway good in this new scenario. So yeah, this is my very simple and an unstructured tip, but I really hope that someone that is listening will try to do that and start to build their brand. Questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Montemagno. That was a very interesting insight, and I believe that connection between creating a strong reputation, differentiate yourself, and at the same time publish, because as they often say, you either publish or perish. So I believe it's very, very important. The first question that I have that came up to my mind is that I believe that to build that reputation and to differentiate yourself, you still need to live in a stimulating environment, something that makes you a better creator, something that significantly pushes you to create something new and to differentiate. As a creator, where would you suggest going? And another question would be, why did you move to the UK?
So, well, I moved to the UK 7 years ago because my wife is British. And are you married? This is my question. No.
No, no, I'm not.
Not yet. So you will discover when you marry that we men, we don't decide the important things. So the important things are decided by our wives, and we are happy with that. So this is one the reason why I moved to UK. My wife is British, and we decided to move here. So that was happening a few years ago. The other question is about where do you get the inspiration to produce content?
Yes, would be does the environment in which we live influences our creativity?
Sure. I believe that today we are in a fantastic situation because we can get so many ideas from so many different sources. When I was, I don't know, 10, just to give an example, I was playing with a friend of mine that didn't exist, video games. You didn't have video games. You had to go to the arcade to play with the money. You put the money, you had to queue to play your game. And so you didn't have video game at home. You didn't have internet. You didn't have a mobile phone. An iPhone came out in 2007. So, today you have so many inputs. Maybe there are too many. I give you an example. You can have an creativity input from everything. I watched Last Dance, Michael Jordan. I can do probably 100 videos about just starting from there, the mindset of a champion, how to create a great documentary, the competition in sports. You have so many ideas just coming from one source. So today, I think no matter the environment you're in, if you have an internet connection and if you have curiosity, so that's the keyword. You need to be curious. If you're curious, then you will find so many good ideas to create content daily. And the other interesting thing is that if you do a lot of interviews also, like I'm doing now, my guests are my source. So they talk, about archaeology, about music, about acting. A majority of the topics, I have no idea what they're talking about, but I'm there to learn. So it's another way, if you have a lot of guests, is another way to produce content.
That's very interesting. I think even from this interview, I'm learning a lot. I'm also taking notes besides watching this.
Giuliano, you can say the truth, so no worry.
I watch your videos every day, so I may be biased. My question now is, do you have inspiration, somebody that you look up to, and then you say, I would like to become like them? Who's your idol?
I don't know. I'm a weird human being, I think. No, I'm not weird. I'm just, not really sensitive to idols. I never been a fan. I never been to a concert. I never paid to go to a concert to, say, oh, fantastic, my idol, my hero. I never had that. I don't know why. I always, admired people. When I was a table tennis player, I had the poster of one Swedish table tennis player, Mikael Appelgren. He was a great table tennis player. So I had the poster, but, it was just an idea like that. But I never had, a strong, like connection with, with an idol or a passion that you say, oh my gosh, Harley Davidson or Elvis Presley. I don't know. So, but there are a lot of people that I admire. On the other side, I see the good side and the bad side in everyone. I never take someone or something as a whole package. I give you an example. Elon Musk. I speak a lot about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a genius. This is quite easy to understand. He does, an electric car company, space rockets, mind connection, boring company. He does so many things. And if you are an entrepreneur, you know how hard it is to do that kind of things. On the other side is a man. Yes, sometimes he says just stupid things, and sometimes he's just, I totally do not agree with what he says. So, but I think something to understand is that you don't need to appreciate 100% one person. It doesn't happen even with your husband, your wife, your children. So you can understand that something is good and also has got some positive and bad sides. And then you get inspired by what push you better, what thrive you better. That's it.
Totally. Another question that I have always watching your videos, I remember that one of the main motivators that were speaking to you said it's always important to have a why, a reason for doing things. Now you have achieved a lot of success. As I said, you have very successful startups. You have an amazing channel. You have a lot of fans. But now my question is, what is your motivation? What is your why? Why do you do this?
Well, number one, I start every morning and I think, that's unacceptable. I'm rubbish. This is, if I see a video of mine, I think, oh my God, that's bad. It's bad. The quality is bad. The audio is bad. The light are bad. The content is rubbish. The question that I ask are not high level. I have a long list for everything that I do that I'm never really happy about. So I always think, all right, I have to improve. I always have this idea that that's why I love so much the famous phrase from Jeff Bezos, popularized by Jeff Bezos, that it's always day one. I always have that feeling. I work in a sector, tech sector, it's always day one. This COVID arrives. But if you work in the tech sector, it's COVID every day. Obviously not with these tragic consequences that we saw, with all of the respect to people, death, and so on. But about the market, every day there is something that change immediately and you're out of the market like that. So you have to be very humble. And my starting point is this one. I don't think I've achieved absolutely nothing, zero. So I think that I can do a lot, that now I have to prove to myself that if I'm good, I wake up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror, which is not easy with this face, like, at least if you are Brad Pitt, you look at yourself and you think, gosh, I'm Brad Pitt, But I look at myself and I think, oh my goodness me, this bald guy is still with me this day. All right, so what are we going to do? And I have this it's coming from table tennis. When you do a single sports, like tennis, table tennis, you will find it also in the Andre Agassi biography, Open. He say the same, and it's very interesting. If you play a sport, a single sport, you are two person. You always speak with yourself. There is one person that is playing, and then the other person that say, "Oh, come on, why did you make that mistake? Or what are you doing?" It's two people in your head that talks every day, and I have it every day like that. So my other Monty always say, "Oh, come on, man, are you really good on the social?" Well, I don't know. Let's prove it now. All right, if you're good, prove it. So like that, and there's always push you, and I'm also curious. I'm just curious to learn from everyone, and so that's the motivation. The other thing is that is a legend that once you have some kind of success, no matter how you define success, but it is a legend that then you go on the beach and you stay there and you stay under the sun. I tried for 1 month when I was young. I went to Australia, stay 1 month on the beach, sun like this, drinking, and it's so boring. You want to do something in your life. And when you'll die, you want to have people coming to your funeral and say, "Oh gosh, this guy, he was good. He left something. He inspired me somehow." And so you try. So I'm for me is really not day one. Is day zero today, and I hope to do something good in the future.
My following question to this would be: so what are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to? Is there like an objective, something that you're really pushing towards, a goal for the rest of your career?
Well, I have no idea. That's the truth. What I learned is that obviously you have all of your plans, and in my case, probably the next stage is the international stage. In Italy, I'm doing pretty good now, and definitely, I mean, I would love to play on an international stage with all of my projects. It can be my startup, or if I do videos, why should I do only in Italian? Obviously, I have to learn English. I speak a rubbish English, so there are several things that I have to do. But on the other side, I think that I start to believe more and more about the phrase. I start to appreciate the phrase that excellence is the next 5 minutes, because it makes a difference. You try to be great next 5 minutes. Try to be great in the next 5 minutes. Do your super best and try to get better and agitate things around you in the best way. And then, the consequences cannot be bad. That's the truth. There's one step at a time. And before I was thinking more with my, master plan. All right, in the next 15 years, I'll do this and that and that. And of course, it's good, to have goals and so on. But then you realize that plans change very, very fast, and life is unexpected, like this COVID. I mean, how many people thought that, for 3 months we are in lockdown? That was impossible. Is a big surprise for everyone. So yeah, let's get ready to do great things in the next period and see what happens.
That's very nice. Thank you. My final question before leaving it to the audience would be, if you could interview anyone right now or later on today, who would you interview?
Apart from Giuliano Formisano, you mean? Right. I don't know. So this is another interesting point. I don't have this fan mentality. So to me, of course, I would love to interview Barack Obama, Elon Musk, the Dalai Lama. I mean, there are a lot of interesting people around. The very famous people. Maybe it's easier to admire, but also you have unknown people that are fantastic and phenomenal. The point is that, if they do it good, I wrote to Bill Gates, for instance. I would love to interview Bill Gates. I mean, he did a lot of incredible things, and now is under attack with conspiracy theories of any kind, by the way. But so I wrote to Bill Gates, and the assistant just say, look, we're not interested, okay? So, all right. I mean, who cares if I interview him? Good. If it's not happening, I don't care. It's nothing changed to me. I mean, I did interview so many people, thousands and thousands of people, and so I'm good with that. But definitely, there are people that in a specific moment I would love to have a chat with. Maybe even for fun. I have Italian people that maybe were connected with my young age. I don't know, Vasco Rossi, a musician. I would love to interview him, but if it's not happening, all right, fine. I mean, let's keep going. But definitely, yeah, Obama. I think Barack and Michelle Obama probably. I would like to interview in this moment.
That's very interesting. Yeah. Would you interview them together or one by one?
Yeah, together. And I would immediately start, with their relationship and family life and this kind of things.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you very much. These were my questions. And now we open the stage for the audience. So please leave your comments, and I'll be very happy to read the questions for Ms. Montemagno. And we can start from the questions that we have received during the week. And the first one comes from Giorgia Ramazzotti, who's a politics student here at Oxford. She asks, you talk a lot about successful stories as examples to follow. What's your morality of success? What distinguishes fair from unfair success, and what makes individual success good for the society at large?
Yeah. You know what? The my let's start with success. What does it mean success? For me, success, well, it's just very personal. So for me, when I was 17, success was becoming number one in Italy, table tennis player. That was success. Was it money related? No, you have €0 coming from it. Was it, fame? No, because no one knows about table tennis. It was just something that I was passionate about, and it was my goal, and that's it. So that was my success. I remember when I entered the world ranking in table tennis, man, I was so happy. That was the biggest success, in that moment. So starting from this point of view, which is very important, success is not determined by someone else or is not an external factor, is how you perceive success. If success for you is, staying at home and bouncing on the trampoline, fantastic. I mean, that's it. I mean, I have nothing against that. On the other side, when you talk about work is measured by certain metrics, and there are results. It's like saying, if you play professional tennis, well, if you win the Roland Garros or Wimbledon, it's different than if you lose the first round. So there are, different level to measure success. But when you decide to play professionally in the work world, well, there are people that do good and people that are not good. It's very simple. They're good or not good at that game, the game of creating something business. And then you can do it in several different ways. There are sharks that are absolutely horrendous, and they maybe make a lot of money. And this is for me absolutely irrelevant. I mean, also mafia make a lot of money. So this is not success. So in my opinion, it's great if you can create something that is close to your what you want to do, close to your passion, and has an impact on many different people. So if you can kind of inspire people, that to me is something good. Is something that I perceive as successful. But to other people, it's not. So it's not a mandatory requirement. The fact that I often talk with people who are successful in their sector, well, it's just because I find it interesting. If I speak with the base jumper, I prefer to talk with someone who knows how to do great base jumping than with someone who, I mean, is not good. So it's that kind of thing, because to be successful in any sector, and again, it's not about money. Money is irrelevant, and it's not about fame. It's about skill, competence, being really good at something. Well, when you need to become really good at something, you become a very interesting human being. Pellizzari, I interviewed this guy. I mean, he was the world champion of apnea, and man, he's such an interesting person. But I mean, he didn't make billions. He didn't, do anything weird. But he was super successful, and with this skill, he can go inside a topic, and he can inspire you to have his approach in things that you like. So probably this is the reason why.
I understand. There is a new question from Cecilia Corsini, who asks, "What is the best way to break the ice in an interview and make the interviewee trust you?" That's very related to me.
Right, that's interesting. I did, I think very few, maybe like 3, 4 interviews when I was looking for job when I was 20 years old or something, and I was the worst. So I cannot give any suggestion from my approach to approach an interview. Especially, I remember once I went for an interview, and then this guy started to talk, and he was a big boss of this company. And then I started, to get annoyed, and I said, look, I do the questions here. And and I tried to change, and after 3 minutes, this guy said, look, just go. That's the door. Just go. I mean, who do you think you are? But probably, I just didn't know that I want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to do something by myself. I didn't want to have a boss. That was my instinct telling me that. I didn't know yet at the moment. Anyway, I did a lot of interviews to have employees or people working with me. And well, I think that there are several things. One very simple and stupid thing, if you write an email to someone about a job, is how do you write this email? So if you write a very long email, already is a bad sign for me. It means that you cannot, summarize who you are, what you want. And if we start to work together, it means that then you'll send me long emails all the time. And it's a nightmare. I don't want long emails. I want someone very good and say, look, this is the problem, this is a solution. Why don't we do that? We could do these other things. So short email is a great sign. Organized. I receive so many messages, Giuliano. You can't imagine how many messages I receive that are long, like crazy, like books, and zero organization, the story of their life, and it's all about them, and it's never about me or my company. What can be good for my company, not for them. So if you reverse this approach, short email, very nice and clean, organized, and what's in it for me? Are you writing to Coca-Cola? Good. What's in it for them? Dear Coca-Cola, I'm a researcher and I found, a fantastic new recipe to probably increase 30% the revenues of Coca-Cola. Worth a chat to explore? I don't know. I mean, you see, it's immediately my interest immediately switch. So this probably is what I should do. And when you meet, of course, it's more about empathy and less about the CV. It's not a curriculum. I mean, no one reads it anymore. It's more about you as a person. Are you asking the right questions? Are you curious about it? Did you study the company that you are going for the interview? Do you know what they're doing? What is publicly available, of course, as information? Are you a professional person? Do you have ethic? Or are you a bandit? And if I take you in my company, you will sue me after one day because I'm bald. It's really about having a good person in front of me, willing to do with good ethic, and someone that can learn for real. And that's it. This is the kind of approach that I think every company are looking for. And then obviously, if you work for Google and they're looking for a mega engineer specialized in AI, you need to have a great competence in that topic. I mean, that's obvious.
Thank you very much. The next question is more political, and we have received quite a lot of political questions, so be ready.
All right.
The first one comes from James Mashia, who asks, a lot has been said about the toxic culture around social media trolls and cyberbullying. Do you think there should ever be limitations to freedom of speech online? And if so, where should the line be?
Oh, that's a great topic. I live it on myself every day with thousands of comments from trolls, haters, psychopathic people, conspiracy theorists, people with huge disturbs, psychiatric problems. I mean, it's sometimes to me it feels like I'm a Facebook moderator, and I have to absorb all of this craziness that exists in the world. So is a tough one. This. On the other side, I'm ready to fight to let these people express themselves. So is a little bit there is this dichotomy for me. But on the other side, because I believe in freedom of expression, but so the limit should be good manners, number one, which is not existent online. So there was Ryan Holiday, a book author, a few months ago. He said, look, you don't only have to be right, you also have to be gentle. You have to be kind. Even if I'm right, that doesn't mean that I can be an asshole and say whatever I want. So this is one thing. The other thing is that there already are limits. So if someone arrives and start to insult someone else, if you have their address, they are legally responsible for what they say. So the problem is that if someone is anonymous, and so you cannot trace him, so you cannot sue that person. So there are already limits. It's not that internet is a virtual space. If you say something wrong, legal write to you and say, look, you say that, and we sue you for this. So there are limits. The numbers are the problem, of course, that you cannot sue everyone, and also there are a lot of trolls, organized people writing anonymous stuff. So, but it's something that human beings just haven't solved yet. The right balance between freedom of speech and cyberbullying, harassment, and so on. I mean, I'm harassed every day. Like, the only difference is that I'm 47 years old. I'm a man. I have thick skin, so it's very, very difficult that I get problems with that. But I imagine, a young kid having a YouTube channel about toys, and they get, or a woman, and get any kind of content harassment. I mean, if I do a live, I go to check my Twitch comments area when I interview someone, and it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. It's embarrassing for them, most of all. What they write, everything that come up in their mind. So, and I get it every day. And so, on the other side, freedom of speech is so important, but you're not free to talk any kind of stupid things that pass in your mind. So, but at the moment, there is no solution yet, unfortunately.
Thank you very much. The next question, and it's probably our last, comes from Michele Ionio, who asks, do you think we could have an effective force to make Italian bureaucracy more similar to the UK one, especially for startups?
No. There is no way. I mean, I don't know. I know so many people in Italy. I know so many people in every sector. I know people in politics, in government, in the public administration, in private sector. I mean, honestly, I really know a lot of people, and it's just, how can you change Rome, for instance, the city of Rome? How can you change Rome? It's impossible, in my opinion. I don't believe that it's possible to. It's like saying, I live in Brighton. Is it possible to have Brighton, but without the ocean? I mean, yeah, in theory, yes. You have to build, a gigantic wall. You have to, I don't know, empty the ocean with ginormous vacuum cleaners for oceans. Yes, in theory, you could have Brighton without ocean, but it's kind of unrealistic. And it's the same. Italian bureaucracy, they live together. Now the history of Italy is based on that. So like this is impossible. If COVID doesn't change that, I mean, if COVID that stops the world and stops Italy for 3 months, do not change bureaucracy, because still, I have Italian companies and try to go to the bank and ask for a loan, or, I mean, good luck with that. So I don't think it's possible, unfortunately. Italy is a great country, but obviously is a country with a lot of problems, and bureaucracy is definitely one of the problems.
Thank you very much. Since time allows us for one more question,
Yeah.
this is something that we always ask our guests. Would you like to share with us like a funny experience you had making your interviews? Perhaps like a guest comes into StreamYard and you don't see them coming, and you're probably doing something
Right.
else. What do you think?
So, well, one thing that come up in my mind is one time I did an interview with an Italian politician. He was very famous at the moment, so it's not during this time. It's my previous television life on Sky News Italy, and all the show, the entire show, the entire episode was about him. He was very famous in the moment. He was doing so many things, and we prepared the whole episode, 21 minutes, live Saturday morning on Sky News Italy. Bam, Sky TG 24. Everything prepared, the questions and materials, covers, and everything about him. So he arrives in the studio, and then 1 minute before going live, I had something like that in my earpiece that connects you with your regist and directors and producers. And they tell me, look, you're right. And I said, yeah, of course I'm right. But can you tell me, please, where is the guest? 1 minute and we have to start. I have to talk about him for 21 minutes. And they say, yeah, I hope you're right, because he arrived, but then he was cross and he went away. So you don't have a guest. And I said, oh, shit, that's a pity. All right, no problem. Well, let's just cancel the episode. And they say, no, you can't. We can't have 21 minutes black on television. And I say, guys, what should I do? And they say, speak. And I say, yes, but speak about what? Well, speak. Invent something. Just speak 21 minutes. And I spoke for 21 minutes. And, and that was not good. So that was not funny. It was a nightmare, but was a crazy experience. And then, I think it's, with all the guests that I have, is interesting because sometimes you have a guest that is very interesting before going live, or very funny, and then you go live and he transforms himself and he's not funny anymore. Or the other way around, you speak with someone and you think, oh my goodness me, this is not good, because you see, you connect and maybe you think, you try to have a feeling, remote feeling, and then when the show goes live, it's fantastic. So that's the interesting part. It's always very, very surprising. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I think this concludes our interview. I would like to say thank you to Mr. Montemagno for joining us, for his speech and for answering our questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Giuliano. Good luck for everything, and good luck. I hope that people will build a personal brand after this chat. And let me know if you do it. Let me know.
Thank you very much. I hope that soon we will be able to invite you here in Oxford, in one of our colleges, so we can have an extensive chat, perhaps, and we can talk more about building a personal brand on social media. Thank you very much.
That would be fantastic, Giuliano. Me in Oxford, that would be very funny. That would be absolutely funny. But I really hope so. Really hope so. Looking forward.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And finally, I would like to say thank you to the following people who helped me organize this event. First of all, Emma Baldassari and Fabio Spagliardi, our secretary and IT officers. Giorgia Ramazzotti, Cecilia Corsini, and James Mashia, our press officers. And finally, our sponsors for allowing us to continue our activities, in particular, Banca Intesa and Bibona. I would like to say thank you all for joining us this afternoon. And if you liked our content, please make sure you like our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and follow us on YouTube. Until then, thank you very much for joining, and goodbye.